Most people will never admit this out loud, but deep down, they fear their own potential more than they fear failure. They're not just broke in the wallet. They're broke in vision, broke in belief, broke in effort. They live on autopilot, punch a clock, collect a check, and call it life. Not because they're incapable of more, but because somewhere along the line, they were taught to settle. They were trained to survive, not to build, to maintain, not to multiply. And that's where the trap begins. You see, poverty isn't just a lack of money, it's a mindset, a system of thought passed down like an inheritance, taught at the dinner table, reinforced by the news, and celebrated by a culture addicted to mediocrity. Most people aren't broke because they don't have money. They're broke because they never learned how to think about money, about time, about growth. They were told, play it safe, get a good job, don't dream too big. Let me tell you something. Playing it safe is the riskiest thing you can do in the long run, because it costs you your potential. It costs you the chance to build a life that means something. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our habits. And most people? Their habits are designed to keep them broke. Wake up late, check the phone, scroll mindlessly, complain, procrastinate, repeat. It's not that people are lazy. It's that their daily systems are engineered for average. Now let's get something clear. Being broke is not the same as being poor. Broke is temporary. Poor is a state of mind. Being broke is a chapter. Poor is a decision. And decisions can be rewritten. You weren't born to struggle through 40 years of routine just to retire on scraps. You weren't meant to be another cog in a machine that drains your time and sells you comfort in place of purpose. Somewhere in you, there's a voice whispering, "This isn't all there is." And that voice is right. Most people stay broke because they never learn how to think differently. They never stop to challenge the ideas they were given. They confuse activity with achievement. They think working harder means they're progressing, but they're just running faster on a treadmill that's going nowhere. Look at history. Edison failed 1,000 times before the light bulb. Carnegie started with nothing and became one of the richest men in history. Disney was rejected over 300 times before he built an empire. Lincoln lost election after election before becoming one of the greatest presidents. These men weren't born special. They trained their minds to see beyond rejection. They weren't just chasing money, they were chasing impact. If you want to break free, it starts with reprogramming your philosophy. You have to unlearn the idea that security is the goal. You weren't designed to play defense. You were built to build. Money is attracted to value, and value is created by people who work harder on themselves than they do on their job. That's what Jim Rohn taught, that income doesn't exceed personal development. So the first step to escape the cycle is simple. Become more disciplined, more focused, more committed to growth. The average person spends more time planning a weekend than planning their life. That's why they stay broke. Not because they're doomed, but because they're distracted. Their attention is fractured by devices, dopamine, and the constant buzz of a world selling instant gratification. But wealth, real wealth, that's built in silence, in early mornings and late nights, in reading while others scroll, in sacrificing what's comfortable for what's possible. And here's the truth. You won't break free until you confront the habits that keep you small, until you're brutally honest about your choices. You want wealth? Then track your time like it's money. Guard your energy like it's gold. Surround yourself with people who push you, not pacify you. You don't need a lottery ticket. You need a new level of responsibility. The kind that says, if it is to be, it's up to me. That's the moment you go from broke to building. That's the moment your life changes. And not a second before. Nobody's coming to save you, but no one's stopping you either. You've got everything you need right now to start the process. Not tomorrow. Not when it's perfect. Now you're not stuck. You're just committed to a pattern. And patterns can be broken the moment you decide to wake up with intention. The moment you say, I will not be the next generation of struggle. It ends with me. Because the truth is, most people stay broke because they choose to. Not consciously, but through every tiny decision they refuse to take control of. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Now it's on you. Will you keep doing what you've always done? Or will you become the person who finally breaks free?